Hello and welcome back to another video with Average Guy's Garage. Well, in our last video we replaced the struts on the front of the 2000 Toyota Corolla. Today we're going to replace the rear struts. Now the front struts were easy enough to do because the 3 bolts that hold the top of the strut to the car were easily accessible from the engine compartment. In the 2000 Corolla, the struts, the tops, are back here behind the seat, so we have to remove the lower seat, and then from within the trunk we release the seat down in order to access a compartment to get to those 3 bolts. So we'll get started with that. The seat just lifts, the bottom of the seat just lifts up and out. Alright, so the seat, it just pulls up. There's a little plastic snap here that holds on both sides. Now if you remember a couple of videos ago when we were working on the bumper, we found $20. Today I don't think we're going to find $20, but I did find a stash of quarters. So that's pretty cool. So there's $1.25 right there. Anything else? A nickel, a penny, and another quarter. All right. $2.50. I like it. And another nickel. So dirty. I might have to get a screwdriver to remove that one. All right. $2.56 plus another quarter I can't get to yet. Inside of the trunk there is a release on either side that will let the back seat down. Just pull that out. I heard the click, and then I should be able to go up to the compartment, pull it down. There we go. And here is the access right here. And the 3 bolts for the strut. So there is a difference here on the back struts. You know, on the front it just had a bracket where the brake line connected to it with a bolt, but this one, this bracket, the brake line is going through the bracket. It doesn't slip out. And on this side, the sway bar here is attached to the bracket also, so I've got to remove this. Then we can get to it. So next we have this clip right here. It's holding this brake. Okay, that came out pretty nice. All right, yeah.
Got another friend.
Yeah, he's next door. Little puppy dog.
Hi there.
Okay, so the clip came out nice and easy. Just need to disconnect this.
We'll see.
And then that ought to slide right through there. Then we can start taking this other part.
Find himself a new home. There you are. Come on. Come on. No. This guy's come to see you. He's come to take it. Wow, you're a cutie. But you gotta go out here. Alright. Go for a walk.
Alright, with this clip out now, it's loose. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pinch off the hose. I did this once before when I changed the caliper on the truck. And then take this bolt out here. This nut. And that should separate these two. And that way we don't lose too much brake fluid. I'm using these welding clamps. I want to get it pretty tight, but not too tight. I don't know if that's tight enough. Let's see. A little bit more. Alright. We'll go with that. I don't know if that's going to stop anything or not, but if it doesn't, we'll have to just bleed the system later. Alright, I'm using this vice grips on the bottom here to counter turning this on the top so I don't twist the brake line. And I've just got it loose. So now I'm going to take it off. So by looking at it here, this is the supply line, because this one here goes straight into the wheel. As it curves around, it goes under. Let's get this loose and see what happens here. See how much we're going to lose, if we get anything at all, by pinching it. Almost there. Alright, I think I got it. Alright, I got it, and we're not dripping any fluid, so that's a good thing. Alright, we'll get this off out of the way. Now that we've got it where we can take this off here, take those two bolts off and get the next one on. Alright, so I've loosened now the two bolts here that hold the lower part of the strut onto the rear wheel. So now I'm just going to finish taking them off. I used an 11/16. It should have been a 17 millimeter, but I didn't have it. I feel like I'm going to have to go back now with the breaker bar and get this loose, because I didn't get it loose enough. Alright, I think that's loose enough now to work it with the sucker. Okay, good. Alrighty. Okay, those two are ready. Now I'm going to go inside, take the 3 bolts off the top, and that was done with a 1/2 inch or 12 millimeter. 1/2 inch took it off, 12 millimeter put it back on with the new ones. So here's the access panel, and I've removed all 3 of the nuts now holding the top on. Now it's supposedly an access panel, but there's not a lot of access. My hand was barely able to fit over and get the nut on the back that I loosened up. Just at the tip of my middle and ring finger I was able to lift it off. Alright, so I have to get something to punch those out if they're not going to come out. Alright, got one out. Alright, second one is out. Now, the only thing holding it in is this ball joint up here. And I don't want to oh, okay, I see. Come back this way. This brake line needs to get out of the way. Alright. Why are you acting that way? I gotta get this arm off here. Okay, so after a little wiggle and prying, I got the rear wheel out, and it moves up and down here, you can see. Once I was able to get the strut off, then it released from this ball joint right here easily. It just fell right out. Then everything came out. So now it's just a matter of sliding the next one up in there and putting it all back together, and then doing it on the left side. Okay, the new strut for the passenger rear is in place, and that was pretty much of a struggle to get it in there. It's a 2-person job for sure. So I was laying on the ground, Big John was up top, and we finally were able to get the screws to go through the top, and he put those on there. And now we're just going to attach the bottom, get it all hooked back up. But it did go in easy once everything was lined up, but getting it lined up was pretty tough. Alright, so now the sway bar connection is almost lined up. What we did was we jacked up the other side of the car, and that leveled out the rear suspension and put the connection almost to where it needs to be. So we'll take another look, see if we can fit that now. And there's the cat coming to inspect. Alright, so right there. I'm gonna get this in here. Okay, the passenger rear strut is in place, tightened down. The lines are back on. The roll bar is back on. And it's connected up here now and tightened down. So we're going to go ahead and leave this part jacked up so the sway bar will be an easier removal for the left side. We'll report back after we get the strut off the other side. Alright, the final strut is out. And with both sides of the car jacked up and the wheels off the ground, that sway bar ball joint connector was very easy to take out, and the strut virtually fell out. So going in with the next one, we'll hook up the brake line again, the ball joint, 2 bolts down here, and the 3 up top, and we should be done. We'll check our brakes, make sure they don't need to be bled after loosening those connections. So here are the 4 struts that we're taking out. There's the car. New struts installed. Took a test drive. I looked for potholes. I ran over a few potholes. No problems. It never bottomed out. Even pulling back into the driveway sometimes, a little 1 inch off the street would cause it to bottom out. So this time it was nice and tight. The ride height is a little higher, like they said, but that will probably settle down. So that was a nice day's work. You can easily do the front struts by yourself. The back struts, you're going to need a second hand to put the nuts on the top while you're laying on the ground pushing it up toward there. Definitely a 2-person job for the back struts. So thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.